First of all, we have been in contact with people on the occupied areas, and they are saying that the damages which were done during the occupation period, they are really severe. And right now, people are trying to come back to normal life, let's say. And secondly, they are worried about locals, about civilian population who are now, let's say, informationally cut off from external world in Kherson city, in the city of Kherson, because right now no normal mobile connection, no internet, and even TV center was hit just these days in order to deprive people of even TV signals.
Deprive them of TV signals, and there had been, we remember those opening days of the war. The Russian forces move in with little fight. You saw even acts of, we saw demonstrations and acts of resistance at the beginning. Do we have any idea of what life is like right now inside of Kherson?
In the city itself, streets, according to local sources, are almost empty. People are afraid, to become persecuted for something. They don't know honestly what is going on neighboring streets because the city is almost locked. And partial withdrawal of Russian regular army from the city of Kherson doesn't mean that there is no other militaries in the city. And locals report that there are like newly drafted men who the number of which was increasing over several last weeks in Kherson. So on the one hand, Russia was withdrawing its best and, let's say, better equipped and much more skilled military units from Kherson for some time already. But at the same time, they sent newly drafted people there. And these people are now trying to occupy, these newly drafted militaries, they're occupying the apartments of those locals which have left the city, for instance, recently. And that's why people who are staying right now there, they are worried just to become persecuted for something because they will not be able to report to anyone about that. So everyone is simply sitting at home, trying not to, appear without serious reasons somewhere, and just waiting for what will happen further.
And of course, there's what's been said that even if Russia is true to its word and it does pull out completely from the city of Kherson, it then becomes a target for shelling.
Unfortunately, it's one of the risks because once pulled out, so Russian forces will have no reason, to make it easier for Ukraine to restore the control over the city of Kherson. And that's why we have seen already a number of explosions, a number of blows up of specific facilities when it comes to internet centers, to TV centers. So people, Russians prepare a city to be disconnected from normal needs and normal facilities. And that's why the risk that they will hit the city later when they will withdraw their best troops from there is really high. So we expect it's possible.
And one final question for you, Maria Zolkina. At this point, the objective of Moscow, is it to gain territory or is it to flatten Ukraine?
It's about, you mean the goals of Moscow right now when it comes to Kherson, or?
More broadly, what is it? Does it matter if they control the territory or not, if they're able to flatten it?
Actually, it's the main short-term goal of Russians right now, in my opinion, is just to fix their presence and to freeze their control over that part of Ukrainian territory, which is still under Russian control. And that's why the signals about alleged readiness for negotiations with Ukraine will come louder and louder in coming weeks from Russia. exactly to prevent Ukraine from going further with its counteroffensive activities in south and in the east of Ukraine. And this withdrawal of Russian troops from Kherson, which is military absolutely logical and was necessary, there was actually no way out but either to go to captivity at some point or to withdraw to the left bank of Dnieper River. This act will be presented by Russia right now as some kind of another gesture of goodwill to justify necessity to sit down. But this is just a trick. This is just an illusion maneuver, diplomatic maneuver, because Russia is losing on the battlefield now. It's absolutely obvious for any audience around the world.
Maria Zolkina of the